Early Morning, Chapter 5. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork for the opening and thumbnail image by Cat Saturn Art on Instagram. You can go check out Cat Saturn by following the links in the description box. If you haven't already, go ahead and listen to the first 4 chapters of the story so that it makes sense. I don't know why you'd watch them out of order. This isn't like a library where the previous parts aren't available because someone checked them out. Anyway, on that note, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any future parts, and leave a like and a comment in the comment section to support the YouTube creator. If you don't know what to comment, put Messy Master Foo. Now then, please enjoy Early Morning, Chapter 5. Adrian Agreste, scrubbing his breakfast nook table. Adrian scrubbed a more than stubborn stain on the table in his kitchen, cursing whatever drink Wang Fu didn't clean up. How was such an old man such a slob? For someone who regularly fasted and preached tranquility, his home life was a mess. Well, at least he'd left a table behind. Buying real estate in Paris left little euros behind in Adrian's bank account. He had to pay in full, because what bank would give a 17-year-old boy a loan? Even then, without his manager's help, it would have been impossible. This house didn't have a formal dining room, so this small table in the kitchen would serve him well in the coming years. While Adrian hadn't planned out his life yet, he hoped he could stay in Paris, especially this part of it, for the foreseeable future. If and when Marinette decided to leave, that would be her choice, but he wanted to look after her as long as he could. It was only right. That and the day she left would be the day the glue wore off his taped-up heart, so it'd be best if he had a solid living situation. Harg. He'd have to sand and restain this piece of junk. Curse you, slob of a man, and your inability to use coasters, much less wipe up after yourself. Once his shirt clung to his back, Adrian knew it was time to take a shower. He stumbled upstairs, tired from cleaning all night, and turned the water on so it could heat as the pipes creaked. He stuck his head in to get his hair wet and started lathering, not wanting to subject his body to the who-knows-how-old heating system this building had until it fought the winter temperatures out of the water. "Cat?" He heard a voice call from downstairs. Adrian saw his expression twist in the bathroom mirror. His hands foamed and fingers twisted into his hair. Marinette? Did they have plans? "Just a minute," he called through the door. Would transforming take care of the shampoo? He'd have to find out the hard way. "Hey, Plag," he yelled. "I've got some cheese in here." "Cheese!" The Kwame's voice shook the mirror on the wall, and he heard a few crashes before Plag plopped through the door's wood. "Where? Claws out." "No!" he lamented, crying as Adrian transformed. "When I'm done, that is," Cat said, staring at his ring. Looks like his hair turned out all right after all. He shut the water off and trudged downstairs. What was she up to, showing up this early in the morning on a weekend? "Marinette?" Cat Noir called out, his greeting accented by the stairs squeaking beneath him. "Hey!" She trudged to the bottom of the stairs, her boots still on and snowy. "I'll clean up after myself, I promise, but I brought you this." Cat felt his heart swell as she held up a bag, baguettes poking out of them. The body action, the bread, the pose, all of it swept him into a memory of Ladybug bringing him the same meal on the roof of Notre Dame before the fire. "Thank you," he said to clear his throat, not trusting himself to elaborate. "Still got any of that tea left?" You bet. He staggered down the stairs, surprised to see Marinette already put the kettle on. Where's the canister? She asked. I moved it to a shelf in the office when I was tidying up. Oh, okay. Cat thought little of it as he pulled the cups out, but when it hit him, the realization made him drop everything and sprint. Nearly losing his balance, Cat ran to the next room to see Marinette, standing in front of the shelves of canisters, holding a dark box. She'd found it. And she hadn't even looked for it. Marinette! He yelled, louder than he'd be able to justify if trying to play it cool. Marinette, He couldn't think of anything. Cat couldn't think of anything to draw her attention away from that little box. Cat? She looked up. What's wrong? He cleared his throat. Did you bring any butter? I don't have any here. What? Of course you do, silly. In the cupboard. Oh, good. Cat stepped into the office and grabbed the correct tea, taking the box out of her hand and replacing it with a canister. Here. Thanks. He didn't have to look at her to see the questions in her eyes. I'll go, find the right kind of knife. Knowing she picked up on his behavior, Cat trampled upstairs with the box holding the ladybug earrings, cursing himself for putting it behind the canisters in the first place. Thankfully, there were a set of knives up here, as he'd found some in the bathroom for some reason. He'd have to wash them, but he'd use the questionable set if it meant having a reason to go upstairs and hide the earrings once more. The real test would come if Marinette asked about the box itself. She hadn't opened it, had she? He had no idea how he'd respond if she did, or even if she brought it up. He needed a shower and a nap before he could even start to think about what had just happened, but he didn't have that luxury. Sighing in a feeble attempt to breathe his worries out of him, Cat Noir went back downstairs, boxless and knife in hand, to Marinette as she wiped up the puddles as she'd tracked in. Yeah. Okay. Act normal. Nothing changed unless she'd noticed, so don't let her notice. Yeah, he could do this. And despite the unforeseen early morning interruption, Cat Noir could do this. He could defuse a bomb by selling another if he had to. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool cat. Jazz hands. He could do this. But as he made eye contact, Cat realized he could not, in fact, do this. At least, not for much longer. In the near future, Cat would break all the promises he made to himself and Ladybug, and spill his secrets to Marinette. But not today. Not this morning. It was still too early for that. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 6 is on the way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. I will catch you in the next one, and if you are still listening, put too early in the comment section. Bye!